everyone for taking part of your day to join us. My name's Joe Hudak, Director of Sales with ACTi. My cell phone number, my email address, should you need additional information after today's presentation, is available to you. Feel free to call me. If you're more comfortable with email, feel free to email me as well. I'm there to help our customer base understand what we have and get the right solution to them. So I enjoy talking to our customers, so feel free to contact me should you need me. Today, what we want to go through is we want to talk a little bit about introductions of who ACTi is. We're going to talk about one of the big things that everybody likes to hear about in the industry today, the analytics. We're going to go a little bit deeper into it than most companies do, because you'll see ACTi has some products that that actually go beyond your typical video surveillance, but we'll also talk about VMS and cameras as well, and what we have new in those lineups as well. And of course, we'll summarize once we've completed. I am going to jump around a little bit in the presentation, and this will not all be PowerPoint, so we will we'll look at some video in the VMS itself. So where I always like to start with is, why would you want to work with ACTi? There's a lot of different manufacturers out there in the video camera space, the VMS space as well. The great thing about ACTi, I've been with them now for 13 years, and part of the reason that I came over to them, being in the industry for 23 years and with other manufacturers, was a lot of our technologies are developed in-house. We have our own engineers in-house, where that's not always true from other manufacturers, and that makes a big difference when it comes to the product that you're getting and the support that you're getting. Selling the product, I know that firsthand, because when I worked for other manufacturers and they would OEM, if we needed to change something, it was a difficult, challenging process and time consuming as well. The next thing that you'll find out with ACTi is, and we'll go through this, is that we provide a end-to-end solution for you, but we are also open source. So if a customer's starting with a brand new project and they need everything from the mount all the way through the recorder, ACTi can supply it. If they've already installed some cameras or a NVR VMS platform, we are ONVIF compliant. So as it says there, we are open platform for you as well. From the support side of things, we are there for you to help with system design. Some of our customers have very small jobs. They start out with a couple cameras. We have other jobs that have over 4,000 or 5,000 cameras on them with 100+ servers on them. So we will help design with that as well. And then, of course, our tech support is available as well. They're based in California, so the question sometimes comes up, where are they US based? Yes, they are US based. And we'll dive into all of that as well today. So for those of you that aren't familiar with ACTi, we were founded in 2003. Again, we are an end-to-end IP video surveillance manufacturer. The key thing with our company is we're not looking to just sell you a camera. We are looking to make sure that the product that you buy fits the need that you're looking for to cover, and that you get the right product for it. There's a lot of misconceptions in the video space that simply by adding more pixels to a solution, or simply by paying higher prices for more advanced analytics, that it's going to solve my solution. That's not always the case. We'll work with you to help identify that and come in a situation where we help you, your customer, pick the right product and the right solution. Sometimes there's multiple ways to do that, and we'll talk about those with you as well. As we get into the company itself, you're going to find that we are headquartered in the United States, in Irvine, California. Worldwide, our headquarters is in Taiwan. And just a little bit of background about us: we have about 400 educated, experienced, dedicated associates. All ACTi does is video products. So when you talk to a lot of manufacturers, they'll do fire systems and they'll do access control and they'll do all these different things. ACTi decided, hey, this is what we do best. We work within the video products, so we work to stay within the video product space to help our partners develop that way. A couple pieces of information I want to share with you outside of the basic introduction is, and I'm going to start there today, is what's going on in the industry. So For those of you that are not familiar with what's transpired in the industry in the last couple of years, there's been a major change, and there's been some recent news on it. So I'd like to share that with you today as well. Several years ago, the federal government, through the NDAA Act, decided that it was going to ban cameras from certain manufacturers from China for federal installs or money that was granted from the federal government. So one of the key questions that typically comes up is, are ACTi NDAA compliant cameras? The answer is yes, as is our recorders. So of course, on our main webpage, we put out a full page providing you that information, what we do to be in compliance, but then we also have a link directly to the bill. This is a major deal for the last several years, but recently there's been news released that the federal government is going to release additional funding for properties, federal properties that already had installed either Hikvision or Dahua cameras to release them. So we're expecting in the calendar year of 2024 in the range of $600 million to $1 billion to be released to rip and replace those cameras through the federal government. And one of the key questions is going to come up is, are your cameras, is your solution NDAA compliant? So I just wanted to throw that out there for anyone that had heard that, or maybe if you hadn't, now you're aware of what's going on within the industry and within the U.S. So when we start with ACTi, what we like to talk to our customers about, again, is not just a camera or a recorder, but where we really like to start with our customers is talking to them about how we can get you the right solution. Unfortunately, when you talk to a lot of salespeople in regards to the right solution, the first thing that they always want to talk about is buy more resolution, buy more pixels, you'll get the right scene, you'll get the right picture. This isn't always necessarily true. So we like to spend some time educating our customers and understanding what they're looking for. And I'm going to do just a couple minutes of that to kind of give you guys all a perspective of how we approach the market. So when you look at video, one of the things that you'll find is that if you're buying for yourself or if you're selling to someone else, it's very subjective, meaning that one person says is a good quality image, the next person may not. So before we get into that discussion of what's good and what's not, if pixels makes a better picture or not, what we like to do is we like to start off by saying, how are you going to use the cameras? We get a lot of phone calls from customers that say, hey, I just want to cover the back end of my resort. And you can see that picture on the top left. I can cover that whole back end of the resort with one camera. The problem is even with a 8 megapixel camera, a 4K camera, the digital zoom, there's not going to be enough pixels to zoom in and get facial recognition in the pool. The next thing is maybe, hey, look, I just need to classify the difference between my taxi cabs and a civilian's car or an individual car. So maybe classification's the right scenario for them. Some people will say, I need enough video quality where I can recognize who they are. It's somebody I work with. So if there's an incident, I know that's Cindy coming down the escalator. There's enough video evidence there for me to see that. But if I hand that video off to maybe the police or somebody else, they may not have enough detail there, even with digital zoom, to see it. And then the fourth level is do you actually want to use this video to identify either a license plate, a person, an object, whatever the case may be. And the reason we go through this is because we need to actually understand what the customer is looking to do. Now, the truth is a lot of time they want to cover this whole area on this resort, but they also want identification. And to do identification cameras throughout the whole resort probably wouldn't make sense, because we'd probably look at like 70 cameras down there. And to put 70 cameras there for budget purposes wouldn't make sense unless the customer tells us that's exactly what they want. So what we do is we usually use multiple cameras with wide shots for detection. And then we put cameras at choke points, entrances, exits, to get those identifications with the tighter shots. But this is where we start with our customers when we talk about our product. We need to understand how they're going to use the cameras, because what you will see with ACTi, and I'm not sure how many of the manufacturers you'll see this with, when you look at what ACTi offers, we currently have 143 camera models to pick from. And the reason that there's a wide range of cameras for our customer base is a lot of them have different needs or specifications that they need to stay within. So we want to make sure that when we talk to them, we're not overwhelmed by 143 camera models, but we also get them pointed in the right direction. So we'll have that conversation with you, with your customers to understand what's going on. The next thing that we do is we put a simple eye chart up, and we ask the customer what really makes sense for you in regards to clarity when when you have recorded video or even in live video. If you need to digitally zoom in, what makes sense for you? And we don't define for a customer what quality video is. We'll have them define it for us. A couple other things that you'll see within ACTi cameras, and we'll talk about this, is we offer in most of our cameras a feature called wide dynamic range. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, one of the biggest impacts that you'll see in cameras, in the video from cameras, is how it handles lighting. A lot of cameras, unfortunately, don't handle different lighting situations very well. There's sometimes it's too bright, sometimes it's too dark, sometimes it's bright and dark in the same picture. And this is where the wide dynamic range feature comes into play. What you can see on the left-hand side of the scene is that this isn't a very usable picture. Of course, if all I needed to know is if a car came through this way, that's fine. But if I needed to see more detail, or I needed a clearer picture, it's shadowed and dark in certain areas. I'm not sure I can see in the car to see there's even a person in there. What wide dynamic range does is it takes the picture, takes the video, and it takes the parts of the scene that are too bright, like the headlights, and it dims them down. It takes the parts of the scene, like the background here, where there's a lot of shadows, and it brightens them up. And the whole reason for this is that outside of the amount of pixels that you have in a picture, or the resolution, we need to be able to properly handle light for you, so that at the end of the day, we start off with quality video. Because as you build your video system, the very first thing that's most important to it is quality video. And if we don't give you quality video, the rest of what we'll show you today won't make a difference, because we'll just be looking at bad quality images and video scenes from there. Another thing that you'll see within the ACTi cameras is we do digital noise reductions. A lot of times as you look at cameras, when it gets into a very dark scene, you'll get this effect on the left-hand side where it looks like there's static on the camera. The camera's not actually broken. The problem that it is it's trying to amplify the light that's in the environment. But when it amplifies the light, it also amplifies the noise that's on the picture. Best way I could relate this is kind of like putting a vinyl record on the old stereos. For those of you that had those or have seen one, as you turn up the volume, you hear the pops and cracks. This is a visual representation of turning up the volume and seeing pops and cracks. So what ACTi does within a lot of our cameras is we have what's called digital noise reduction. So again, it gives you a cleaner video at the end of the day, because if we don't have good video to start with, the rest of the system's really not going to matter to you for the most part. This also does play very heavily, just so you're aware as well. The picture on the left actually takes up more bandwidth because all the little moving pixels create bigger files when we're doing creating video. So the picture on the left not only is a poor quality video, but also it's going to take up more bandwidth on your network, and it's going to reduce the amount of days you get in storage. So this slide, when I show it to a lot of people, they kind of look at it and go, okay, we get it, clearer picture, but it also does have an impact on your storage and your data on your network as well. And just so you know, this is what the feature looks like when we turn it on or off in the same scene. On the left-hand side of the picture, you can see that not as useful of a picture. So the other part that we talk about with our cameras that not a lot of people know about in the industry, in fact, the comment I hear a lot of times is, oh, just give me a camera. A camera's a camera. The next component to it is picking the right lens. What most people don't realize is that you could get the best light handling camera that has the highest resolution. However, you put a lens on it that's the wrong lens, and the picture that you see in front of you is what you could get. So the ball player that's standing on the mound, he's in focus, and if that's all I needed to see, this camera's fine. But if like a lot of our customers, you'll want to see later into the background, the digital zoom isn't going to help here. As we zoom into those pixels in the background, they're not going to come any more into focus. The person that's running on the field there, the other ball player in the background, he's still going to look like that, just blown up more on the picture. So one of the things that we talk to our customers about is not only what level of clarity they want, but the area and the level of image quality and digital zoom that they'll be able to get from their cameras. Now, if we upgrade the lens on the camera, which ACTi has for you, this can be the difference. We actually took this picture at City Park. We set the camera up in less than 5 minutes. There was nothing magical that we did it, so there's no marketing magic to this picture, but you can see as we look further into the scene, we have more usable picture in the background. So first and foremost, it's more usable picture. The other thing I wanted to clarify as well is, and what a lot of people miss is they buy the less expensive camera with the less expensive lens. To cover this scene with that lesser camera, we'll call it, with a lesser lens, I would have, if I need to see into the stands as well, I would need at least 3 cameras, one focused on the pitcher, one on each sides of the stands here to the left and the right of the pitcher. So that lesser camera actually gets more expensive for the total cost of ownership, because I would need 3 cameras, 3 installs, three licenses for the recorder. I would need 3 times the amount of hard drive space and 3 times the amount of labor. So when you add that all up, sometimes going with the less expensive camera can actually cost you more than the one that has the better features on it. So, and again, this is what I was talking to in one of those first slides, is we want to present you solutions so you understand what we're giving to you, and not that which just, hey, we can throw in an inexpensive camera and your customer will be happy. We want to make sure that your customer knows what they want to see, and that we give you the proper tool for it and hit the budget the right way. And as we go through it, what you'll see is a lot of these features are built into our cameras, and this is the technology that we talk about at ACTi. And then last but not least with the camera is how it handles low light situations. So I typically use this slide to educate people from the standpoint of, people always tell me, give me a 10 megapixel camera or an 8 megapixel camera, it's going to do better than anything. It may be the case, but if you looked on this screen, I think you'd probably agree with me that the bottom 2 pictures are the clearest pictures out of all of them. The iPhone without a flash, because a lot of people tell me their iPhones are great for taking pictures. Without a flash, that's how the iPhone handled the lighting in this environment. The top right picture actually is a 10 megapixel camera, and you can see it doesn't have the digital noise reduction, and it's not as clear of a lens on it. The picture on the bottom is actually only a 2 megapixel. Both the left and the right are only a 2 megapixel sensor with an upgrade on the lens. So you can see that sometimes the right lens with the right sensor for how it handles light actually provides the right solution. And again, this is why ACTi has 146 current models available to you, because we have different customers with different needs, and we'll help you get there. A big part of our business is our 180 degrees and 360 degree cameras that we quite often use. And then one of the last things that we have is we actually have cameras that have fantastic zoom lenses on them. But instead of showing you the PowerPoint on that, let me just show you a sample video of what we can do with a zoom lens. Sometimes we can install a camera as close as we'd like to an environment. So we're zooming in with the lens about 1.5 blocks. And if you look at the picture, now we're doing digital zoom, you can clearly read license plates on this shot from a block and a half away. So we'll offer this technology to you as well. Just a lot of variables in regards to options, in regards to what we can do with cameras. So today we have 143 camera models that are available to you. Within the next several months, we have several cameras that will release. You're actually going to see we'll be up to, oh, I'm sorry, 143 with the new releases, and current available models are 132 to you. Within the camera models themselves, one of the biggest things that people ask us for is they'll ask for the 180 or the 360 cameras because they want to cover large areas. They'll also ask for the multi-imagers, and you'll see that ACTi provides you with multiple different options for multi-imagers. So the key thing with ACTi is when we start with you, we want to get you good quality video. We have many different ways to do that with many different cameras that are available to you. If you've got a project that you'd like to discuss, or you need help picking out cameras for, or talking to the customers, maybe even doing a demo, please call me. I'm happy to assist with that. Okay, so step one, we got to get you good quality images. Step two, after that, we have to be able to record the video, and we need to be able to give you easy live. The nice thing about ACTi is, as I said earlier, a lot of our stuff is engineered. A lot of our products are engineered in-house with our own engineers. So not only do we do our cameras, but we have recorders that are both very small, from a 4-channel recorder all the way up to systems that we build, again, 4,000 or 5,000 cameras within school districts and hospital campuses and projects of those natures. For customers that have multiple sites that need to connect it together as one large system, or they have multiple NVRs within one location, we offer a central management software system. Of course, you'll get your mobile client, your workstations with the recorders as well. We'll have the video analytics for you. One of the best things that I like about selling ACTi cameras and then our VMS platform is that with our NVRs, our on-premise NVRs, once you buy a camera license, there is no reoccurring fee. Let me say that again. Once you buy a NVR system on-prem, there's no reoccurring fees. So our current NVR software is called NVR3 Corporate. That means if you buy a camera license today, next year you're not going to receive a bill for an ongoing support service to keep your license active for the life of that product. That you've already paid for it, and there's no ongoing fees with it. For some of my customers that use some other manufacturers VMS, I have a customer that had about 500 cameras for a 3-year subscription. They were a couple $100,000 to renew their subscription. So that can be a substantial savings for them by using us. And what we talked about there is hey, look, we can basically replace all your hardware and the software. And 3 years from now, you're not going to have another bill into $200,000. You can use that money elsewhere on your projects, upgrading your cameras, adding access control, putting in parking gates, whatever the case may be. But that is one of the nicest thing about our VMS from the business standpoint. From the actual use standpoint, I'll show you our VMS. This is called NVR3 Corporate. I am currently on the client workstation. Within 23 years of working within the industry, one of the key things that I've noticed is that unfortunately, there's a lot of changes as to who uses the software at an end user site, and or unfortunately the person that's going to use it, or one of the people that will use it frequently, is sick the day that there's training, or they miss training. So what I like to point out with our NVR is it comes preloaded with the ability to do maps. And the way that we like to talk about our NVR is we need to make it simple, because a lot of times when people are using the recorders for either live or playback, there's a lot of stress. An incident just happened or is occurring, so they need to be able to react without thinking. With our mapping features, you're only 1 to 2 clicks away ever from the video that you need. So once you log in with your credentials, if you simply needed to look at the cameras with the on the sports field here, you would just click on the icon on the sports field, and what you'll see is that it takes me to a representation of my stadium. It shows me the cameras associated with them. If I needed more detail and I wanted to see the picture here, I double click it. It brings it up larger. I double click it again. It puts it back into the, it'll put it back into the map for me. And then the beauty of it is I don't have to do anything or learn anything in regards to the software. I just simply click where I need to be when I need to be, and it takes me where I need to go. If I'm on the sports field and I need to go to the field house, I click on that icon. So if we set somebody in front of this software as we have with no experience with the software, within seconds, they literally can be pulling up their different cameras. Of course, if you'd like to do it the traditional way and scroll through the 200 cameras that you have on your system, you can do it that way. But when you need to quickly pull up your cameras, not necessarily an easy way to do it. So the mapping feature's there for you for that reason. Excuse me. So key thing is let's get you good quality video. Second thing is let's make it super easy for you to use in live view. And then the third component of the video system that ACTi talks about is let's go ahead and make it really easy for you to use the system in the playback mode. So if we were on the sports field and an incident just occurred and I needed to pull up video, I'm in my live tab on the top right hand corner here. Underneath it, you have a little film strip. That's your playback tab. From this screen here, when you click it, it takes you into the playback mode. If you're looking for an incident, you put in the date and the time of the incident that you're looking for. You have your simple play controls down at the bottom here, just like you'd have on YouTube or Netflix. So I think everybody's kind of comfortable with that. And then once you actually find the incident that you're looking for, all you have to do is click on the export button on the top. I make one change to this where I tell it to export it with the player. The reason that we do this is that when you hand this video off, they don't have to have any special software installed into their computer. It's the software with the player. It's the video encompassed into the player already. So when you hand it off, who's ever doing your investigation or reviewing video for you that you've made a copy of, they actually already have it. And the way it looks when they get it, of course, I save everything to the desktop. It looks just like this icon here. And all they have to do at that point is double click on it. There's your video. If you need to zoom into it, you can draw a box over and then move around within the video. If you need to zoom out, all you can do is use a scroll wheel and it'll take you back to the main frame of the picture. But as we talk about the video systems themselves, the key component really that we emphasize when they start with a system is start with good quality video, make it easy to use in live, and then make it easy to use in playback. Of course, from there, this is where everybody wants all of the bells and whistles and the extras onto the system. So if you were to go to the ACTi's homepage, and I'm going to show you the amount of analytics that ACTi has available to you, and you were to go into our product selector, this is an easy way to quickly pick out a camera. ACTi offers, again, a ton of cameras with a ton of different resolutions, a ton of different lens options on it. But what you'll also see is you'll see that the cameras that we offer also come with built-in analytics, and we break them down into two categories. We break them into security management and business, and I'm going to highlight them both here for you. Unfortunately, on a 40-minute presentation, I can't go through and show you samples of every type of analytic that we have, but what I can show you is a list of everything that we have available, from automatic license plate recognition to face detection, line crossing, object missing, meaning that if I was in an area where I had objects of value, I could actually denote that area or that object as a valuable object. If for whatever reason it's removed from the scene, the system will alert you that that object has been removed. I think the other ones kind of speak for themselves in regards to what they are for just security management. And then we also have a business management analytics as well. So a lot of our retail stores want to do either object or people counting. They want to know how many things are coming in or out. They'll want to do heat mapping, which means that they want to know the way traffic flows through their property, through their facility, so that they can do studies in regards to maybe where they place certain products. This also works for logistics, for shipping companies or distribution warehouse. They want to know the directions and the paths that their tow motors most frequently use. So there is quite a bit in regards to what we can do within the analytics space. And the nice thing is that they're actually built into the cameras as well. So as you currently have a system or you're building that new system, you don't necessarily have to start with a whole new NVR because there are analytics within the cameras for you as well. So with that said, I'm going to take a brief pause here. And I'm going to see if there were any questions that have been proposed so far, so that if there are, we can address them as we've gone along. So, do we have any questions that have been asked so far?
Hey, Joe, no questions so far.
Okay, perfect. That means we're hitting all the right spots then. Thank you very much. So, I have a couple minutes left, and I want to show you the next level of what most companies don't think about with their video. This shows you a good portion of what you can do with the different cameras and to capture quality images. Talked a little bit about the VMS, and there's so much more we could talk about, and definitely analytics. We can spend a whole 8-hour session going through all of them and going through all the scenarios. But what most people don't think about when they put their system together, let me bring this up, is they don't think about what their video cameras are actually capturing in addition to surveillance video. So a lot of times our customers put in thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of cameras and recorders. And what they're doing is they're using it for liability issues, thefts, things of that nature. One of the things that ACTi is forward thinking on is what else can we do with that video? Well, not only what else can we do with that video, but what else can we do with that data? So if you had, what we talk about, if you had somebody in your stores sitting there all day taking notes on how it operates, what occurs within the stores, who comes into your stores, what your employees do, what information would you want from them? Because what you have to remember is we have thousands of hours of data collected from their video system that they can be using to optimize their retail store, their parking garage structure, their transportation, their distribution, their school facility, how it's used, whatever the case is. And in this scenario here, I'm doing it just from a retail perspective. So what we can do is actually through our marketing application suite, which is a whole nother platform, we can capture information and we can report to you on a dashboard what's occurring within your location. This is a completely customizable solution. It's not for a small one-off cell. This is a larger project that's going to be, it's going to take some time to deploy and also to put together. However, what we can do is we can take your point of sale system and we can generate your reports from you from your point of sale system. We can take cameras that do either people counting and or heat maps, and we can tell you what your traffic looks like over durations. There are analytics that are out there that will give you information about the age and the genders, the demographics of the people that are coming through your locations. So we can capture that for you as well. And you can see from a marketing perspective, this can be a very powerful tool. From there, what we can also do then is to drill down into a site. I had 4 sites there. I picked the first one. Of course, we can give you the overall information at a store level. We can talk about the traffic that's coming in, but not only the traffic and the people that we're counting, but we can also be tied into a weather report to say, hey, look, it was a Tuesday, it was cold outside. This may have had an impact on your traffic that came into your store. We can also put your ad information into this. So if you're running certain ads or promotion, we can track that for you and then tell you how that impacts your foot traffic with the analytics on the cameras that do demographics. We can also give you a range in regards to how many people were there and then potentially what age range they were in that came into your store, your total revenue. So there's a lot of powerful information that we can help you get to as you're looking at your environment and the information that's there. The next one that we did for this customer for this demo is we helped them with the heat maps and the store layout efficiency. So what you'll see here is the cameras that are showing there. Where you see the blue, there's no activity going on. Where the yellow comes up, that tells you this is where your traffic primarily goes through this. So again, is your store laid out right? Are you optimizing your space? Is there a lot of wasted space where certain people never go? Or is there a space where people just dwell and spend a lot of time there? We want to figure this stuff out, why this is happening, so that you can optimize your store so that you have the best results for your for the rent that you're paying for that space. And then, of course, one of the last things, interest zones are similar to store efficiency, but one of the last things that we can do is we can take a look at conversion rates. So we can tie in where people are showing the most interest within your locations, what locations are showing, and where it's converting actually to a sale for you. So the key with this is, again, we show it from a retail perspective in this example, is that as we talk to our customers, you've invested thousands of dollars into a video surveillance system. You're collecting all this data. Is there something more that we can be doing with that data for you? As opposed to, we had somebody come in and steal something from the shelf, or we had an incident in a school where there was a fight. Is there something more that we can do with that data that you're collecting all day long to help you with your organization and your facility as well? So this is where ACTi takes it to the next level. I'm not sure you're going to see any other video management system or video camera manufacturer that has this type of technology. We can do this for you on a project-based type of solution. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and summarize, and then we'll leave it open for questions for you. The first thing I would like to do, though, I'd like to just, for those who may have come in late, I'd like to put up my contact information one more time, or if you missed it, feel free to call me for help. You have additional questions that you don't want to ask on the webinar, that's fine. I'm there to help you. You can call me or email me. I'll respond to you. But to summarize what we covered today, what ACTi is looking to do for you is, first and foremost, help you and your customer build a solid system to start with. And that starts with good quality image, be it the resolution of the cameras or how it handles lighting. The next thing is we want to give you the opportunity to deploy a video management system that's powerful and easy to use for the person that's starting their first day on the job, or the security expert that's been there for 30 years. Once we nail those first three things down for you, what we're looking to do for you is we'll take you to that next level with analytics so that your system itself is more proactive. If certain amount of people come into an area, or a person comes into an area, or a license plate, or whatever the scenario may be from the list of the analytics, that the system can actually alert you of what's transpiring at that time, but also from the analytics standpoint of pulling video up later. And should we use it in a security management way or a business management way, they're there for you to use. Once your customers have gotten to that point, this is where we can talk to them in regards to how to further their investment with the information they have through our market application suite. So again, I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. One last thing I will say is if you do have a project that you're working, please make sure to contact Wincom. Wincom, as they can register a project with us to receive discounts. We can help out that way to make it more budget friendly for you. So with that said, I will stop there. And of course, if there's any questions that's popped up now, we'll take those as well.
Yeah, Joe, we did receive a question here. So
Sure.
the attendee is asking, he said, sorry if you missed it. Did we talk about networking such as IP, Wi-Fi, LTE, and CBRS?
We did not talk about networking. Our cameras, 95% of them are IP cameras, meaning obviously they go on your network. ACTi currently doesn't offer a wireless camera in respects to built-in wireless, but we do work with Wincom obviously to provide that solution with our cameras and their solutions that they have for wireless as well.
Okay.
Was there a more specific part of that question? I want to make sure I answered it fully.
No, but I can. We could speak further offline about that if you'd like to speak.
Sure.
Gentlemen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any more questions for Joe? Yeah, nothing else.
With that said, I'd like to again just say thank you to Wincom for hosting this. If questions come up, if you have an opportunity that you need, reach out to myself, reach out to your Wincom rep. Again, we'll help design it, but also we want to make sure that we project register it so that we get you best pricing, discounts that can be applied to the solution so that you can help your customer with your budget as well. So thank you everyone for your attendance today.
Excellent. Thank you, Joe, and thank you to everyone who attended. Have a great day.
Bye now.